Or let me just talk about Oscar Mabuyan. I've heard him saying it is wrong for the people of the Eastern Cape, the inhabitants in the in Eastern Cape, to say um, why people who are lashing, pejoratizing with flippant behavior, saying inhabitants in the Eastern Cape why they vote ANC, and they received a lot of how can I say it? How can I put it? They received a lot of hatred, for voting ANC. I think I should correct you there, Oscar Mabuyan. The road that you've been talking about I saw a clip of a video of you talking about the roads that were built in the Eastern Cape, the infrastructure and whatnot and so forth. Um, the Eastern Cape province, it's a less fortunate province than as compared to other provinces. I think Western Cape is better. I think Limpopo might be substantially way better than the Eastern Cape, KZN as well. Maybe you can compare Eastern Cape. I think Free State is also better than the Eastern Cape. Eastern Cape is the worst case scenario. And the hilarious part, the fascinating part, and I'm very furious with Reg about this, that the backbone of the ANC, the former leaders of the ANC, which seems to traject themselves as a liberal movement, the core leaders with backbones in the ANC were people of the Eastern Cape. The list is countless. We can start counting from Walter Sisulu, Mandela, Oliver Tambo. All of these people were coming from the Eastern Cape side, and they played a vital role in the political space uh, within this country, the Republic of South Africa. And it's a mind boggling and it's very outrageous to see the province where they originated from is like plummeting drastically. The service delivery is something else. You know, I think but I should clap hands for those people because they, at some point, somewhere, somehow, you could even see if you assessing surveillantly their lives were not lavish. They didn't live like extravagant, flamboyant, poshy life or affluent life. Those people were really fighting for the struggle, even though they banned somewhere somehow in terms of their approach with the Africanism or whatever the case you may call it, because it is found that later on they sold the struggle. But at some point, somewhere, somehow, the point that I'm trying to emphasize here is that the former leaders of African National Congress originates, they are native of the Eastern Cape province. But now to see this province facing some tremendous setbacks, uh, the life is in jungle than as compared to other provinces. It seems like there is no discrepancy. Obviously, there will be disparity in terms of the economy distribution of resources within all of these provinces. I've just thought they are one of the provinces that are getting less, because I cannot say that politicians who originate that side, they are corrupt. Yeah, there are some level of corruption that is at play in the Eastern Cape, but I just think at some point, somewhere, somehow, they're just one of the unfortunate provinces. So the question that will arise would be, why would they then perpetuate the ruling of the ANC, which everybody is throwing stones towards? Why are they sequestering it? I don't think they did it deliberately. They were just manipulated. And remember, if you don't have resources, if you don't have money, you don't have resources, you don't have money, you can be easily manipulated or controlled or told what to do, when to do, because they will lure you, they will entice you with a promise of providing a need. And then when it comes to execute and establish those things that they promise you to do, when they begin not to do it or to swerve or when you see that things have gone far away from the rails, you cannot hold them accountable, because we put these people in leadership, but to hold them accountable, it's a heck of a hype. That's bigotry. I think it's one of the bigotries that we could just be candid with people, that we can't hold these people that we deploy in high increments. We're unable to hold them accountable. Even if you could do so, if you don't have money, you don't have resources, I think the story is not about, it's not rooted in money. But if you are poor, you can be easily manipulated. You can just further, maybe let's shift a little bit our paradigms and reference this to to families. You know that if maybe you was born in a nuclear family, maybe there are like 5 of you, you're like siblings. The ones that have got more money or more income, they assumed that they have control in this family. They tell other members of this family what to be done, when to be done, and all of those things. Even their resources. Like, for instance, if some of them maybe bought maybe alcohol, they would want you to come and kneel to them when you want alcohol, rather than just to take an alcohol, just simply because there is hierarchy, there is a discrepancy and disparity in terms of how things should be done. They want to be in control. That is why I normally used to say, you don't need to have millions to be a capitalist. You can still be a capitalist as an employee, as a proletarian, as an aristocracy, as a worker. You can still be a capitalist. With the little money that you have, you can apply capitalist principles with those who are less fortunate. So you don't need millions or billions to be a capitalist. Even with 2 rand, you can also exercise some capitalist principles with 2 rands. Figures doesn't mean anything. What matters is the approach, how you look at things, how you do things. It's not about millions. It's easy to spot a capitalist with millions, but a capitalist with 2 rands, it's highly impossible. But these people can apply the very same principles, right? So you find out that the people in the family that have more money, they have an upper hand to tell what should be done, whatever. So it's financial manipulation is at play. If maybe we have a conversation, you will find out that these people who have got money will say, no, this must happen, this shouldn't happen. If you don't have money in the family, your opinion won't matter, because anyway, you don't have money. So it's something that is applicable even in our families. If you have less money, imaginary people less fortunate, because at some point, somewhere, somehow, money governs. Or let me remove money, because at some point money is also useless. Resources govern. If you have more resources than others, automatically you will control those people. That is why, if you can shift a little bit back in ancient times, you will find out that it was not allowed for just a general average person to have more resources than kings. Why? Because kings wanted to be in control. They knew very well if somebody ascends to riches or to wealth, he's going to be uncontrollable. He will have influence. So it was not allowed for any average person within that area, under that royal, to have more resources than the king, because that will jeopardize the governance of the kingship. So with that having said, people of the Eastern Cape, I think there is no way these political organizations should stop lashing on the Eastern Cape people and begin to campaign there. Or either, because they should go next time, just go make sure people knows you. People cannot even know who's the spokesperson of who's in the top 3 of this political organization. They don't know these things, because even the traditional media system, there was a video that was taken by, there was a video. Msholozi has been interviewed by the SABC. They didn't release that video. Up until this day, it hasn't yet published, because it should not reach people. that is another concoct.